Guys, for the next 50 or 45 minutes, we're going to be speaking with longtime boxing professional Rick Glaser and my counterpart tonight, G Funky Boxing, on this Monday night episode of War a Week Boxing.
Maybe, just maybe, it's time for Rick.
Can smell manly if you listen to Real Talk with Rick Glaser. Guys, welcome to the show, and thank you, Sly. Appreciate it. Guys, once again, just like Sly stated, this is Real Talk with boxing professional, the incomparable Rick Glaser. Rick, how you doing tonight?
Thanks for having me on, guys. Here I am. Fire away. We got 45 minutes. Fire away.
Yes, we do, sir. And guys, to help us do it, well, we need the assistance of Teddy Atlas and my brother, G Funky Boxing. Give the man a hand.
Thank you. Good to be back. Good to do the show with you guys, man. Let's rock.
And just like Rick said, let's get started.
Maybe, just maybe, it's time for Rick Glaser's Twitter watch. Bang!
Are you ready, G Funky?
No, I'm sorry, man. I had to take.
That's all right. I've got it. No, that's all right. I've got it. Now, once again, this was on April 8th because we missed last week with Rick. So we're going to have to play catch up. And we've got a lot of, tweets on X, comments from Rick. And this was April 8th. And this was in response to something that Jim Lampley said, legendary voice of HBO boxing. He said that David Benavidez will be the first serious Mexican heavyweight champion. Okay. And this is what Rick said in response to that. Jim Lampley is shot and he's not even a fighter. Listen to that. He's gonzo. #boxing. What did he mean by that? Did he literally mean that David Benavidez was going to be a Mexican-American heavyweight champion?
Yeah, that's what he meant. And he also said that he punches like Mike Tyson. First of all, David Benavidez is a grind-down puncher like a marvelous Marvin Hagler. He's not a get-you-out-of-there a punch like Alexis Arguello was, Tommy Hearns and these guys, or like Duran was a lightweight. He's not that kind of, or Wilfredo Gomez is 122, or Julian Jackson was a junior middleweight. He's a grind down puncher. So where he punches like Mike Tyson, I have no fucking clue. And to say he's going to be heavyweight champ of the world, I mean, ridiculous. I mean, come on, please.
Yeah, you know what? Heavyweight champion. Yeah, well, let's see how you do against Dave Morrell Jr. first, buddy. Holy cow. Now, look, to David Benavidez' defense, David isn't saying this kind of nonsense. Not even his dad is. Right. But Jim, do you think this is why no one has bothered pursuing Jim Lampley at this point? Because I'm actually a bit surprised that Amazon Prime and PBC didn't go after Jim Lampley.
I'm not surprised at all. He's talking about yesterday's news. My God, but he's definitely it.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, Rick, let's go to then number 2, right? I've got one more, G Funky, before you get yours. and this was on April 10th. He said the Fundora Zoo pay-per-view numbers have been kept top secret, and that's because the number is obviously very low. The very suspect PBC operatives didn't even put out a phony inflated number, and the writers have stayed away from putting out a number. My source that I have used, oh boy, this is a mouthful. Since July 2024 wasn't able to secure the number, I had said it would do 52,000.
2004 is what it's supposed to say, but I made a mistake.
I'm sorry. 2000,
right.
2004.
Right.
I'd said it would do 52,000 pay-per-view buys for the original Zoo Thurman fight, but when Keith Thurman pulled out, that changed the whole vibe of the event. To the best of my findings, Fundora Zoo did a little over 20,000 pay-per-view buys. In anyone's world, that's horrible. Amazon Prime executives can't be happy. For Amazon Prime and PBC, it's onward to May 4th, Canelo Munguia. But the problem for Amazon Prime for the May 4th event is that DAZN is also offering the pay-per-view, unassociated with Amazon Prime. Why? Because PBC is using Jaime Munguia, who is promoted by Golden Boy, and Golden Boy Promotions is contractually aligned with DAZN. A very auspicious start for Amazon in the pay-per-view boxing business. Selling books for Amazon is much easier, and Amazon executives are finding that out very quickly. Enjoy your Wednesday, everybody. So since then, yeah, you were right. 20,000. And I found out from my guy that works with Foxtel that it's a combined number with the Australian numbers, which were terrible as well, because it was during the day on Sunday, that it's a combined number of 50,000.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Rick, what the hell is PBC going to do?
They're in trouble if they don't make money on this Canelo event. If they flop in that event, they're toast.
Woo.
Yeah, they are toast. They are toast. We have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
G Funky, do you have one?
I do have one, man. I think
Let's
this
hear
is
it,
going to
brother.
be kind of cool for the fans because fans really like to talk about this type of stuff. And Rick posted this yesterday at 6:48 p.m. my time, and it says top 6 boxing prospects in America. That's fighters that have not reached the top round or reached the 10-round level. Yeah, it's been a long day. Number 1, Abdullah Mason from Top Rank. Number 2, Shushu Carrington from Top Rank. Number 3, Crumel Morton, Floyd Mayweather. Number 4, Joel Iriarte from Golden Boy. Number 5, Steven Navarro, who is unsigned. And number 6, Amari Jones, Haney Promotions. Yeah, I met Amari at our last show. Good kid and good fighter. But yeah, Rick, let the fans know why you have Abdullah Mason as number 1 right now.
Oh boy, that's a good list.
He looks like the real deal to me. I mean, unless there's some kind of character flaw or a bad chin, he looks like the real deal. He's got fast hands. He's powerful. He's accurate, and he's fighting frequently. He's fought twice since the first of the year. He fought in November before that, so he's fighting frequently, and he's looking good. He's already got 13 pro fights. To give you an example, Jalal Major Hackett there with PBC with Mayweather and PBC. He's only got 8 fights, and he turned pro at the exact same time this guy did. And the other guy's got 13 fights. What's his name? The other guy hasn't fought since December. Hackett. So,
you know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Abdullah Mason looks like a young Mayweather, in my opinion. He's got that kind of skill. He seems to be a complete fighter, and he's got ridiculously fast reflexes.
Yep,
very quick response. That radar between his eyes where he seems to see everything coming in slow motion.
Yeah. Yep. And I think back in 2022, if I'm not mistaken, when he was still in the 4-round stage, he had a tough fight against Angel Reborial, who it was a 4-rounder, and that fight was very, very close. So took some shots in that fight, but he ended up getting the win. So yeah, he's already had kind of a tough fight in his young career. So that's good for his development as well.
Yep, looks good to me.
Well, I'll tell you what, I really like the list. Now tell us, You know what? I'm teetering with 1 and 2 though, because Shushu Carrington, that kid is special, and when you hear him talk, he's very, very just wise beyond his years.
The only reason, he's a lot older than the other kid. I can't remember how old he was. I saw that 24, 25, 26, something like that. The other kid's only 18 or 19 years old. You know, so that's why I put him in first, because he's got a bigger window.
Yep. And I tell you what, I don't see anything wrong with this list. This is beautiful. I like all the guys. I'm very high on Mouton also. Yeah.
Good kid, man. And you know what? I really like Joel Yarte, even though he's, he was supposed to make his pro debut last year, but he didn't. But yeah, he's looking really good. He's big for a 140 pounder, 147 pounder.
He is big.
Yeah, and he's a good kid.
He reminds me of Antonio Margarita, how he fights and how big he is for the weight class.
Yeah, he's a big guy for the weight class, and he's a good kid, man. I know he does a lot of work with special needs children in his off time. So yeah, I really respect him for that.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, you there, Joe?
Oh boy, I'm sorry, guys. I had to take care of something real quick. My patio door just flew open for some reason. I guess it started raining here. So my apologies. But we got to get caught up. And there's so many things that I want to discuss that we didn't get to touch on last week. So I'm going to read one here. Rick, from April 13th. Another lie from Steven Espinosa. Bozy Ennis. I'm going to read this one like Casey Kasem. I've got a letter. Another lie from Steven Espinosa. Bozy Ennis, Boots' father, trainer and manager, told Boxing People that Espinosa was their advisor since he was let go by Showtime. He's not called the Weasel for no reason. And as far as myself being a felon, Espinosa acts like it's a revelation, when in fact, I've always been very upfront and candid about my past, as that happened before I entered boxing. Thank you for your understanding.
I love the voice.
So what song would you actually attach to that as a dedication to Casey Kasem there, Rick? The theme from Arthur? Caught Between the Moon and New York City?
He's just such a jack-off, that Espinosa. Call me the felon and all that stuff. What is he, a fucking sick bastard?
I hate to say this, Rick, but you were absolutely right on the money. And I shouldn't be saying this on the air probably, but I don't care. But you were right on the money. He's not all that. You really don't know where you stand with this cat, do you?
I know where I stand. I make my own enemies with intent.
But what I want to know is, what's the point here? What's the point? Why is he fabricating this stuff?
Who knows? He's just a sick bastard. He's a nut.
So the real reason why I brought this up is not to, just talk about Stevie Espinosa. I wanted to talk about, get your thoughts on the signing of Boots Ennis to Matchroom Sports. And let's just do this, okay? Let's just do this. This is a new segment, and this is
Terrible fan takes on Twitter/X.
Yes, I know that was my terrible Kenyan accent that sounds more French. Got it. But Rick, here's a terrible fan take. Wow. He's going to become a superstar. Eddie has done it again. Rick, do you believe that? And that was a fan's take on Twitter.
I don't believe that. First of all, is people don't want to fight him. They haven't paid any amount of money to really fight the guy. Maybe Eddie will come up with the big money to have people fight him, but he hasn't been known to sell a ticket yet. Now all of a sudden Eddie thinks he's going to sell tickets. I don't think so. I think he's going to sell the same amount of tickets for him that he did for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Jesse Vargas. None.
Do you think he's going to be the latest in overpaid non-ticket sellers that Matchroom Sport tries to cultivate in the American market?
I definitely do. And just the fact that he's already signed him tells me that.
Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. So let's take a break. We're going to touch more on this, but I need to take a break and we need to get to our main event of the evening, seeing that we're on limited time tonight and it's already 30 minutes in the hour. We want to get your take on the main event of the evening, which is the Matchroom versus Queensberry. 5 versus 5 on June 1st. Now, if this weren't already a stunner with the big-time main event for undisputed at 175 pounds between Artur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol, guys, it just got cranked up to first class. Now we've got Deontay Wilder versus Zhang, the Big Bang. Who wins this and why, Rick?
The guy that shows the most amount of gumption to win, the guy that's least shot. And I don't know which one that is. Both guys look bad in their last fight, especially Wilder. So I don't know. It's tough to say. They both look like it on.
Do you think
on the back? I'm sorry.
So this truly is a loser go home match.
I think so. I would think so.
Right?
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you what. Do you think Deontay Wilder once again tries to just run around the ring doing absolutely nothing until Zhang runs out of gas?
Well, Wilder's got to put pressure on him from the run out of gas. So, and if he's running around the ring backpedaling, he ain't going to be able to put too much pressure on him. So, you just don't know, So,
in my opinion, Rick, I think he's damaged goods from that third Tyson Fury fight. And he's one shot on the chin from the powerful southpaw. I think it's all she wrote. I think it's curtains for Deontay Wilder. What say you, sir? I
think you're right, but I also think that he had Zhang on the chin. He might go. He's 41 years old himself. And, it's not a promising feature to take a punch.
And in your co-main event of the evening, it's heavyweight action again with Daniel Dubois representing Queensberry and Filip Hrgovic representing Matchroom. Who do you like and why, sir?
That's not the co-main event. The Zhang and the Wilder is the co-main event because the main event is Beterbiev and Bivol.
I meant the next runner-up on the 5 versus 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Who do I like?
Yes, sir.
I like Hrgovic slightly.
I think this may be one of the best fights of the night. Obviously, the main event is going to take the cake, in my opinion. Right, but I also really like Raymond Ford versus Nick Ball. This has the makings to be a barn burner and steal the show. What say you, sir?
Absolutely, 100%. Ray Ford proved himself. I think he's coming back a little quick. He was just in World War III, came back to stop the guy late, but coming back a little quick. But, if they think he can handle it, so be it. I wouldn't have brought him back this quick. I would have had him. I would have had him resting till September. I would have had him got back in the gym in like mid-June.
You may be right, sir. Time will reveal everything, and then you've got Hazmat Shiraz versus Austin Amma Williams. And what the hell was he wearing? Was that a tail?
I don't know, but the guy from England there, he's a good fighter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very good fighter.
And then Craig Richards versus Willie Hutchinson to round out the undercard.
That's like a WC. Who cares?
Woo! I tell you what, though, I absolutely love this main event. And Dimitri Bivol, Artur Beterbiev squaring off face to face for the first time since they met in the day before. I think it was the night before Fury versus Ngannou, that debacle. Yeah. And yeah, I think Frank Warren is correct when he said You know, if you just let these guys stay here, they'd still be looking at each other. I think he's absolutely right. Neither guy wanted to budge. Neither guy wanted to concede. And Arthur Beterbiev said, he knows. He knows. What the hell did he mean by that, brother?
I don't know. They had some different sayings over in the UK than we got over here. So who knows what they meant, you know, what Frank meant. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens.
I tell you, guys,
that's why they're fighting.
Tell you what, we're going to find out what Arthur Beterbiev meant by saying that. He knows. He knows. We're going to find out when we have a lunchtime with Iceman, John Scully, this Wednesday afternoon, guys. Stay tuned to that. We're going to find out all about it because he's the co-trainer, right, of Arthur Beterbiev with Mark Ramsey. Who wins this fight? Who wins this glorious main event and undisputed at 175?
I think Beterbiev is too strong and too heavy-handed. The other guy doesn't punch well enough to keep him off with. He does have better foot speed. He is younger, but I don't think he's nearly as strong. He doesn't have the power. But what's the name can box very well, B-ball. But I get a slight edge to Beterbiev. I think he's very heavy-handed. Obviously, 19 knockouts.
Oh, he's 20-0 now with 20 knockouts after that. That guy's sick power, and he's got deceptive skill set. He is very skilled, and honestly, G Funky, your thoughts on this before we say hello to our dear friends in the chat and answer some questions.
Yeah, right now I haven't really broke it down like I normally do on my channel, but I think I'm slightly favoring Beterbiev right now, just like Rick is. And like you said, Joe, he has very underrated boxing skills and ring IQ, man. The guy has great timing on his punches, tremendous power because he has great technique in the way he throws. And Bivol, the master boxer, has a great jab, knows how to control range. It's going to be a good fight, man. Can't wait to see it.
I can't see either. It's going to end up one of two ways. Either Bivol's going to win a wide unanimous decision or Beterbiev is going to knock his ass out. I can't see it ending any other way. And guys, it's good. Let's hear it. Let's hear it, Rick.
I agree.
Oh, there it is.
I think you're right. Yeah.
There it is. There it is, guys. But look, correct me if I'm wrong. But so far, you can say about the first three events from Saudi, they've been good from far, but far from good. This one, I don't see how this one disappoints, Rick.
Well, we said the same thing about Michael Spinks and Dwight Muhammad Quarry years ago, and you know that turned out to be a snoozer. You know, so.
Yeah. Well, this is the theater of the unexpected. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, on paper, this event looks fantastic for sure. 3 fights for sure look like they'll be good. So yeah, we just got to see and watch them play. That's why we watch the fights, right, guys?
There it is, guys. We're going to say hello to our dear friends in that. Jay Will, thank you for supporting Rick on this day, and also Vaughn. So with you, my friend, thank you for supporting Rick. And the representative has a question: Rick, does Zhang retire Wilder, or is Wilder already retired?
I think Wilder's around for paydays, and I don't think he's looking to get himself hurt anymore. And I think he's run out of heart.
Oh boy. Well, I tell you what, it seems like an ominous sign when you don't have Rick's endorsement. June 1st can't come soon enough. Rodney Evans, welcome to the show, sir. How you doing, Hot Rod? Thank you for supporting Rick on the show. He says, Rick, Ernesto Mercado, 15-0 with 14 knockouts. Been fighting 10 rounders since he fought Hank Lundy. He's the top prospect, in my opinion, not Abdullah Mason.
Okay. First of all, he's not a prospect. Okay, he's a contender. He's in the top 40 of the WBC. He's already had a shitload of 10-round fights. And if you read the fucking thing, and the guy took the time to read it, it says non-10-round fighters. Now, Shushu did have a couple 10-rounders, I understand, but I thought they were 8s, but because they ended in a couple of 2 and 3 rounds, I didn't know that
Yep.
they were scheduled for 10. I never paid any attention. That was my mistake. But there's no mistake. Now, Mercado is a great prospect, but an excellent fighter, could be a world champion, but he's not a prospect anymore. He's been a 10-round fighter for a year, for Christ's sake. So read the tweet first before you criticize.
And there it
Not
is.
you, but
And there it
the
is.
person calling it in.
Of course, of course. Thank you, Rodney. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you for supporting Rick on this day. Also, Andrew Charles, thank you for supporting Rick. Representative also says, Rick, Malik Scott has to stop making Wilder a back foot fighter. Breland highlighted Wilder's best attributes. Your thoughts?
It's a different era in his fighting. He had heart then, and he was pressing. He was throwing bombs. Now he's semi-retired, and he's more safety. I'm not saying he is safety first, but more safety first than he was. That's why he's fighting there. It's not the trainer telling him to fight like that. Okay, you don't teach an old dog new tricks. Wilder's been what he's been for a long time. He is what he is, and he's yesterday's news. And he's a fighter shot full of holes. If he wins, if he beats Zhang, he gets an Anthony Joshua fight. If Zhang wins, he may get a Joshua fight. So we'll see.
We'll see indeed. We'll see indeed. I'll tell you what. Representative also says, "Let's go, Beterbiev." And Big Luke says, Rick, have you not yet escaped Kathy Wokel's paradise, New York State? Yeah.
Kathy Hochul's paradise. Yeah. No, I'm still here, but we're moving to the West Coast, probably Vegas. And we set a date to be in there by October. Between October 1st and October 15th.
Welcome to the West Coast, Rick.
And he also further adds, which will you miss more, Rick? The Buffalo winters or the oppressive taxation?
I'm going to miss the great Italian restaurants we have here.
Yeah. But I tell you what, if you move to Vegas, oh my gosh, that is 5-star cuisine, my friend.
Well, it isn't for Italian food. They got great Italian restaurant, but it's no better than Buffalo. The other food at the steakhouses, of course, are great and all that stuff. But the Asian places are great out there. But realistically, we got unbelievable Italian food here. You wouldn't believe all the Italians from New York that come here and can't believe how good the food is, as good as New York City. And we got some great Italian. We got great pizzerias in every corner.
Wow.
I mean, the joke in Buffalo is if you serve chicken wings in Buffalo and you don't serve great chicken wings, you're out of business. And if you serve pizza and it ain't great, you're out of business. So it's just the way it is here. We have a unique community here, and we have a lot of Italian restaurants. There's a German restaurant right down the road, and the owner was Italian, and his general manager was German American, and he wanted to open up a German restaurant. So he hired the guy, and now they're going to change it over to an Italian concept because it's about Italian food here. It just is. And we have a big Italian community, and people eat Italian food here of all types, whether it's chicken wing, pizza and wings. And wings are considered Italian because you buy them with pizza and wings. They were developed by an Italian. The last name was Bellissimo. So in 1957, 58, something like that. But it is what it is. It's that kind of town here. So I'm going to miss the Italian food on a regular basis here because even though Vegas got some great Italian restaurants, don't get me wrong, but Buffalo's got a lot of them. Vegas has got a few of them.
Hey,
yeah,
Rick,
but Buffalo doesn't have the Grace papaya.
Thank you, Teddy. Yes. Hey, Rick, I hear that at the pizzerias there in New York that they all day long they serve the pepper and eggs sandwiches. Have you had those? How are they there?
Well, not yes and no. In New York City, they do. They don't here. Okay.
Okay.
That's not a Buffalo thing. Now they do have pepper and egg sandwiches, but not at pizzerias. They have them at regular breakfast places and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's delicious, man. One of my favorite breakfasts to make is the peppers and eggs, and you got to cook those peppers the day before and then use them in the morning, and they're that much better.
I'm very, I'm,
Oh,
I'm
forget
very,
about
I'm
it.
very familiar. Yeah,
Forget about it.
I love it.
Yes.
Absolutely love it. Tell you what, thank you. Also, greetings, blessings from Miss B. Thank you for supporting Rick on this day. God bless you, sister. Let's see. Representative also says, Rick, the gap between Bevel and Beterbiev's skills is much closer than the power discrepancy.
Yeah, that's true. 100%.
I would agree.
No question.
And also, he asked this, Rick, does Bevel-Beterbiev have a rematch clause? That's a very good question.
Ooh.
I don't know, and I don't think so, but I don't know.
I'll tell you what, I'll give George a big call tomorrow, see what he has to say about it. But I'm with you, Rick. I wouldn't think so. Now, once again, go ahead, sir.
It doesn't have to have one, because the only way they can make that kind of money is fight Canelo. I mean, that more than that is fight Canelo, and Canelo ain't fighting either of those animals.
No,
he fought one, he lost, and he ain't fighting the other guy. That's for sure.
Yeah. And you know what, guys? I hate rematch clauses. I really can't stand them because it all depends on demand. Really.
Right.
Truthfully, if the fight has demand, they don't need a rematch clause. So there you go. You know.
That's it. Very good. Very good. And thank you for the questions, Representative. Keep them coming, sir. And also, our brother Tycho TV. Thank you for always supporting the show, and thank you for supporting Big Rick on this beautiful evening. And Alan, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for supporting Rick on this beautiful day. Rodney has another question. Big Rick, will Eddie Hearn make Boots versus Crawford happen? Or are they just clout chasing by using Crawford's name, saying they want to fight when they really don't?
No, they know it's not going to happen. Okay, so they're using his name. He's already said, I have no legacy left at the chase at 147. I'm going to 54 to chase more legacy. He said, I don't need to fight at 47 anymore. I'm not going to. First of all, if I had Boots, I would never fight Crawford. And if I had Crawford, there's no reason to fight Boots. So, I mean, they're beating up. They're beating themselves up.
Yep, that's it. I think that's the name of the game, though, guys. I think you're absolutely right. I think this is clout chasing on the and you're right. I hate that term, but it is what it is, and I think that's exactly what they're doing. Name association, just to put Boots in that conversation of pound for pound great.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
No. Yeah, well, Boots is beating up guys. Has stopped guys a little earlier than I thought he would stop them. But every one of them, except that one guy from Canada, Custo Clayton, everybody was on the back nine. Every one of them was on the back nine. And it is what it is. Crawford's a unique specimen. I mean, listen, you heard what Teddy Atlas said about him. I mean, his lack of timing and range, and he just got his shit together. That's all there is to it.
He said the same thing about Grace Papaya in the tri-state area. No, and Hy-Vee, welcome to the show, sir, says much respect to Bivol and Beterbiev. However, due to recent news, Rick, Morrell is now the best fighter at 175.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah. Come on, please stop. Stop with Morrell.
And another great question from the representative. Keep them coming, my friend. Says, is big baby Jared Anderson a bit overhyped? We saw Martin tag him, and with last Saturday's performance, it's been lackluster, to say the least.
Well,
you think a Frank Sanchez caliber opponent is next?
I don't think it's next. I think that's too big a jump up from what he's been fighting. There's fighters in the middle he could fight that pose a little bit more of a threat and that are better than what he's been fighting, but not yet at the Frank Sanchez level and stuff like that. I think he'll be fighting those kind of guys very shortly.
Well, forget about Jalilov anytime soon. But
Stop,
I know.
please.
I know. I said forget about that anytime soon.
Forget about it.
But Ricardo Torres, who's going to be in the co-main event of the Navarrete main event coming up in a couple weeks. Do you like Ricardo Torres, or do they keep him far away from Jared Anderson at this time?
You're talking about Richard Torres.
Yeah, Richard Torres.
Right. Yeah, they're not.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not fighting anytime soon either. They're going to make him the next Top Rank's going to make them like him like a star in that Central Valley area and that's our area around
Fresno, Rick,
like
your favorite place.
Like, oh God! Oh, listen. You want to hear a great? You guys want to hear a great line?
Absolutely.
So, I was talking to Eric Gomez, who's president of Golden Boy, and about going to the show here, and I said, New York. And I said, well, I'm sure not going to Fresno. He said, you don't like Fresno? With a totally straight face, he said it. So I like Fresno. What's there to like? Oh my God!
Did you just say what's there to like?
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Oh.
Hey, Rick, are you going to be at the Barclays this Saturday?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I'm leaving. I'm leaving tomorrow morning for New York. Listen, I mean, let me ask you a question, guys. I know that's an agricultural area. I get it. Okay, I'm not a fool. Okay, but when you walk through the fucking airport and they got tractors on display for sale as the model tractors for display, full tractors in the fucking lot. John Deere with the green and yellow John Deere. I mean, I didn't see a Kubota in their competition, but I mean, I just couldn't even believe it. In the middle of the airport, there's tractors on display. I mean, come on, you can't make this shit up. We come to Buffalo, we got Mercedes and BMW in the same place.
Well, Rick, maybe next time you're there, maybe you should leave him a John Deere letter.
You mean a Dear John letter?
Yeah.
No, I mean a John Deere letter in Fresno. That's what they'll understand.
Oh my God!
Shout out to Fresno. I got family in Fresno, man. I love you guys.
Jeff Daniels of Dumb and Dumber fame.
Woo! Yeah. Hey, Rick,
one of the great comedies of the modern era. I'm sorry, as you were, G.
There's a good question in the chat from Tycho. What he's saying. Luis King Kong Ortiz is asking for a fight now with Big Baby. Do you think that is a possibility next for Jerry?
He's 54. He's 54 years old. Come on. He's 44. He's 54. Come on.
But he doesn't look a day under 49, sir. You know what's weird?
Go ahead, he hadn't fought in almost 2 years. They just got him a bullshit win somewhere. I can't remember, Colombia or Dominican or somewhere. They just got him a bullshit win. I mean, come on, quit already. Give it up?
You know what? Well, you know what's funny is I always liked Luis Ortiz. Damn hard puncher, very good skill set. He was a real menace when he first came on the scene, and I thought he was cultivated very well by Golden Boy initially. But then he just fell off the map. He got that big fight with Deontay Wilder and just his career seemingly never recovered because he's not a big ticket seller. But correct me if I'm wrong, whenever he got hurt, he always got this look on his face that made me feel bad for him. Like almost like
because he's old. I mean, the guy couldn't fight. The guy couldn't fight for 6 months because he had high blood pressure. It doesn't. Come on.
Holy shit.
You can't make this shit up.
Dude, I like seriously, guys, go back and look at his fights. He gets a face like he's scared of the dark. Like almost childlike when he gets hurt.
Joe, I think it's the face like he just seen death, you know.
Joe, can I run something by you?
Let's hear it, sir.
I take myself seriously, but I do have a good sense of humor. We got 7 more minutes to go. Do we really need to talk about a 54-year-old fighter that should have been retired years ago? Come on.
Hey man, that was Tycho that brought it up, not me, brother. Let's
We wasted
Say hello to
entirely
Uncle
too
Larry.
much time on that old step.
And Sly, thank you for joining us and supporting Rick. And yes, what an unbelievable card. And Rick, would you like to? You got some explaining to do, Lucy. So here it is. Everyone is complaining about the undercard this Saturday in Brooklyn. Would you like to explain why this is such a lackluster undercard? Because it's pretty obvious to me, it's pretty obvious to G Funky, but to fans who don't understand what pays for these preliminary bouts and what determines this.
Well, first of all, you have a situation where Barboza's got to be on the show just in case one of the guys pulled out, especially Ryan with his mental capacity. He's fighting a legit. He's fighting a legitimate top 10 challenger, but the guy's from the UK, so most Americans never heard of him before. Yeah. Okay, so that's not that the guy's a real fighter. That Sean McCombs is a real fighter that he's fighting. Back to Bully, he's fighting the guy 22-0 from France that can fight. And he's a hell of a fighter, and I think he can pull an upset. That guy, his name is Pierre D. Bombay, and he's 22-0.
D. Bombay.
Yeah. Then there's an interim world title fight with
Scrappy Ramirez.
Scrappy Ramirez.
Yes.
And that's an excellent fight. I don't know what now, are they looking for big names on the undercard? No, but you're looking for guys that are sincere, good fighters and good fights. That's what I'm looking at.
Rick, you just made such a great point, man. It's something that Joseph and I try to get across to a lot of fans is that, look, just because the big names aren't on the card doesn't mean that these fights aren't going to be good.
No, those are good. Those are good fights. Really, those are good fights.
Like when I go to the local club shows here, I see these guys. They're not big names, but you know what? A lot of the times, these cards are good. These guys come out and fight hard, man. So fans just got to give them a chance.
Fights. You got 2 top 10 guys in one fight. You got 2 top 10 guys in another for an interim title fight, and then you got Beck the Bully, who's fighting, who's 13-1, who's in the top 10 in the world, and he's fighting a guy that's 22-0 from France that can fight. So I don't know what anybody's complaint is here.
And there it is, guys. We're running out of time. We've got less than 5 minutes left with Big Rick and Benji. Thank you for being a part of this great show.
Sir.
Thank you, brother. And once again, always a fun time with G Funky as well as Big Rick Glaser, isn't it? So thank you for being a part of it, my friend. And my brother, Sly Tendencies. He wasn't here for the beginning of the show. Rick, so please, could you do this again? Break down your thoughts on Wilder versus Zhang, please. And thank you both for the super chats, guys.
Yeah, he's, Wilder's semi-retired, and, he is what he is. He's shot, and mentally and physically, and the other guy is 40, 41 years old. Just, anything can happen in a fight like that. I think that Wilder's lost his heart. That's the thing.
Well, Zhang is a spring chicken compared to Luis Ortiz. Oh, shoot, I brought him up again. Ooh. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. But thank you, gentlemen. And Miss B says, I got Zhang by knockout. And J. Will says, Rick, it feels like New York City and Atlantic City has lost its excitement in boxing that it once had. Would you agree with that, sir?
100%.
Why is that, Big Rick?
Because the action's on the West Coast, and I've said it for years. It's on the West Coast. Golden Boy puts these fights on Thursday night. It's out at the casino out there, and they're doing 4,000 people, and they're doing it for little developmental shows. They're doing 4,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different vibe altogether on the West Coast. They get there for the first fight, and the East Coast, if they come at all, they come for the main event and then they leave.
Honestly,
it's a different vibe. It's a different vibe.
I used to love going with Emmanuel to those Golden Boy shows at Fantasy Springs and Coachella. Mm-hmm. I love the Fantasy Springs Casino. That is a great place to watch a fight.
Yeah,
and
I hear it's great there, man.
That casino and that resort is beautiful. I absolutely love Fantasy Springs.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
bad memory
I do
of
too.
K9 Bundridge there. So, yeah. Yeah. K9 Bundridge. That's another name that Teddy used to also say very well. Victor J says, Rick, if the Gypsy King beats Usyk and AJ, is he a top 10 heavyweight of all time? 76ers fan.
Is who top 10? Fury?
Tyson
Yeah.
Fury.
Oh yeah, if he beats Usyk, 100%. Yep, no question. You can't be that big, that fast, and have an incredibly high ring IQ and not be a top 10 heavyweight.
And from what Javen has told me, he's told me now, and once again, he is going to be chief second once again in Tyson Fury's fight coming up on May 18th. And he just laid down that he said Tyson is looking like a well-oiled machine and he is sharp. You're going to see a very different Tyson Fury in the ring.
If I was paying Sugar Hill, he'd say the same thing about me at 66.
So, do you believe all of the stuff that is coming out of Tyson Fury's family?
I think he's fine. I think he'll be fine fight night. He'll look great in doing so, and I think he'll carry the night.
He'll be ready. He'll be ready to rock.
Yeah.
And there it is. And there it is. Thank you, Victor J, for joining us, sir. We hope you make it a habit. Oh boy.
11 o'clock. This is Union time. I'm leaving you.
Oh my gosh, it is 11 o'clock, isn't it? My apologies.
I got to roll too,
Rick,
man.
I tell you what, guys, thank you once again for joining us. I'm going to stay on for just a second more. So, Rick, thank you so much for being on the show, brother. It's not a Monday without you, my friend. And I'm sorry for the late start, but thank you, brother. Go Yankees.
It's better than no start at all. I'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye.
God bless you.
I'll talk to you soon, Rick. I'll see you later, Joe. I got to roll too, man. Thank you for having me, man.
I will call you later, my friend. And hey, guys, go out and support boxing in Sacramento if you're in the area. Uppercut Promotions, April 26th. That's at the Gold Country Casino. Go out and say hi to G Funky that night.
I'll be there, guys. Show up. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it, man.
All right, brother. My brother. I'll call you later, my guys. And I tell you what, I'm feeling a little saucy and I'm feeling like I am just getting started. So this is a rare thing on Rick Night, but it's Monday. And I want to start the week off right. So if you guys have your headphones, come on the show. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about this Queensberry versus Matchroom fight card, 5 versus 5, June 1st, and give me your early prognostications. Pull out the crystal ball and tell me what you think is going to happen. And we'll dissect the best way we can all 5 fights. Once again, guys, I'm going to spell it out to you one more time. And once again, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, guys, the first 3 fight cards from Saudi Arabia for Riyadh season, they've been good from far and far from good. They've really disappointed, in my opinion. And I think the pay-per-view numbers for all 3 events really reflect that. Now, luckily for us, this is going to be on regular ESPN. And I think that is the best thing to do for boxing in the American market, because this one, I think it's guaranteed to sizzle, in my opinion. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you think that this is by far going to be the best card from Riyadh? Or do you think Tyson Fury versus Usyk is going to be an unexpected barn burner? Because May 18th, I see a very tactical fight in which Tyson Fury is going to make it a numbers game from mid to long range. Him being easily the taller, rangier fighter. Him being the more ambidextrous guy, him being very deceptively athletic, considering his size. And I think with him being in the current shape he is, I think it's Usyk's. I think Usyk is going to be fighting uphill. But maybe I'm wrong. What do you guys think? My point, though, is I think it's going to be a tactical chess match. I don't see it playing any other way. I don't think it's going to be the brutal spectacle that we saw with Tyson Fury against everyone else since adopting or since acquiring Sugar Hill as chief second. In my opinion, guys, I think that this is, I think that this fight card on June 1st is really going to be spectacular, in which we're going to see at least one or two surprises. And guys, it's always a pleasure to feature this gentleman. And you know what? I might as well just deem you co-host, brother. And you're a very gracious and worthy one. Guys, welcome. Electro Jet. Welcome to the show, EJ. How you doing, my friend?
Oh, what's up? Thank you very much. Thank you. First of all, I'm trying out a new mic. Can you hear it okay?
It sounds wonderful, sir.
Great. I'm actually using headphones for a change. I'm tired of going through the microphones.
No, you sound crystal clear, my friend.
All right. I wanted to, and so we can get this over with. There was a little mistake that was made like a week and a half ago when I came on your stream and I was on your live, and
Yes,
I wanted
sir.
to take care of it early. You said, do you have any parting words? And I was saying, well, give a brother a break. You misunderstood me when I was saying that closing statement. It wasn't for me. It was give your brother next to you or your sister next to you. Help out those that are in need, not me.
Well,
I
no. Hey, brother. Why not you?
Well, I only throw my cash up when I do a stream and I feel like I've done something to earn a donation.
I thought you did. I thought you were spectacular that evening. And then you showed a lot of patience and a lot of tolerance, because I was off the rails that night. I had a bone to pick with everyone that night because of the terrible pay-per-view numbers, if you remember correctly. And so that's why I did it. Not that I think you're I work for food. No, far from it, my friend. I would never insult you that way. But,
no, because I thought maybe you misunderstood me. That's how come I wanted to get that.
No.
I always say help your brothers out. Help your brother out, because
I know.
I want people
You're
to be nicer to each other.
You're a good man, brother. You're a good man, and I didn't perceive it that way, but I thought you were most deserving.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And now, in answer to your question,
brother. Yeah.
Well, look, I'm looking forward to the fights coming up for sure. Do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
Ask the question again for me, so I can mull it over while you're talking about it, because I'm still on the fence. I'm still on the fence.
In my opinion, I know that May 18th is the one that we've all been waiting for. Right? That's the big daddy. That is the big dance. That is the undisputed heavyweight crown, arguably the biggest crown in all sports. For my money, it sure is. But once again, I'm a little biased. I'm a boxing guy.
Right.
But look, if it's different, because look, I view other sports very differently. I'm involved with this one, and I've been involved with this one for 2 decades. So I don't have a dog in the hunt. Like, would I choose a Cincinnati Reds World Series? Hell yes, I would. Would I choose a Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl victory over any of this? Yes, I would. But I'm a fan of those sports. I'm an active participant in this one.
Right.
So, but in my opinion, that still doesn't reduce the luster or glimmer of the trophy in this. This is for all the marbles. This is it. This is the big dance. This is what we've all been waiting for.
For more than 25 years.
Yep.
Right around 25 years.
That's it. Look, and in my opinion, though, I think June 1st is going to dwarf it in terms of action, in terms of drama, in terms of everything. The undercard, I think June 1st is far superior. Now, once again, I'm going to go through this. We've got the brilliant main event to determine undisputed supremacy at 175 between Beterbiev and Bivol. And I think it's going to deliver in every way. We've got a guy who's 20-0 with 20 knockouts. And then we've got the most defensively, statistically speaking now, the most defensively responsible fighter in all of boxing. That's Dimitri Bivol. His opponents only have, on average, an 18% connect rate. That's absurd in the light heavyweight division. So you've got the irresistible force against the immovable object. Who wins?
Yeah. Well,
I can't see it disappointing. And then
that fight's not going to disappoint.
And once again, if that weren't good enough, now we've got a retirement match, basically like an old WWF. And the winner announces, or the loser will announce his retirement. Howard Finkel announcing it. Is it only fitting that we have my brother Thomas Schreiber, who's a big disciple of Howard Finkel, the late great Howard Finkel of WWF? Have you noticed my brother Thomas Schreiber? He's a very dear friend of mine. He's going to be announcing all of the undercard, and then Michael Buffer is going to be carted out or wheeled out, and he's going to announce the main event, right? So Thomas Schreiber, he admitted to me that he was heavily influenced by Howard Finkel of WWF, classic WWF. So when you hear Thomas Schreiber, yeah, he's got that delivery, that old school. Introducing Deontay Wilder. Yeah, it's so beautiful. I love Thomas. He's great. So he's going to be announcing Deontay Wilder, Zhang. Loser go home. Loser announces his retirement. That's virtually what it is. So you can't get much higher than that in terms of stakes. And then you've got Daniel Dubois versus Philip Ergovich, Ronnie Shields fighter. And if that weren't good enough, then you've got Raymond Ford versus Nick Ball for the IBF title.
It's going to be one of the more entertaining cards. It's been hard to explain how we're being gifted these fights the way they're coming. I am going to say this though. I'm kind of biased too. I don't know if you knew that. But as far as I'd have to go with you through each fight so I would be able to break down what I think is going to happen. But as far as the Saudis and what's going on, let's just face it right now. Boxing in the United States, we're no longer dominant. We're no longer dominant in boxing as far as the consumers. Well, maybe as consumers, yes, but as far as viewership and stuff like that, we're no longer the dominant one. And I think that stings a little. To be completely honest, I think it stings a little. It kind of hurts the feelings, but it is what it is. And the Saudis doing what they're doing, brother, it's good for boxing.
You know what, brother? It's good for boxing right now. But in the long haul, I can't see them keeping up this investment. And
no. They got deep pockets, but not infinite.
Listen. It's going to be absolutely detrimental to the sport. How many of these guys, after receiving those inflated purses that are competing right now, they'd better retire because they're not going to want to compete anywhere else. Look,
and
guys,
hopefully that's what happens, Joseph.
Here, look, and then you're going to see a lot of young fighters waiting for that Saudi money.
No,
that's never going to come. Look. Why do you think we haven't seen the Undisputed? I know it's a big myth, and everyone wants to believe that Tyson Fury was the bad guy last April, but Usyk wasn't happy with the money after receiving that Saudi inflated purse of $40 million when he fought Anthony Joshua the second time. Okay, in Saudi Arabia. That's why he wasn't happy with the $15 million offered to him to fight at Wembley. He said, No. I already know this from George Warren.
All right.
Right? I heard about the entire promotion. The deal was all but done. And they walked away at the last minute and blamed it on Tyson Fury, and everyone fell for it hook, line, and sinker. And why? Because they wanted to believe all that nonsense, greedy belly, because they wanted a 50-50 split. And they said, look, dude, we're going to prove to you that you're not the same ticket seller that Tyson Fury is. And we're going to prove it to you when we're going to force your mandatory with Daniel Dubois. And we're going to force this to purse bid. And that's going to prove that he's not worth that kind of money. And he did it. Usyk was pissed, and he actually went and signed the deal with Saudi. That's what really happened, guys. That's the only reason why. And so we're now finally seeing it. And once again, you have to blame this on Tyson Fury's injury as well. But now we're finally seeing it. But this fight, for all intents and purposes, should have already taken place last April. And that's not Tyson Fury's doing. That was them wanting more money. And why is that? Because he got a taste of that big Saudi dollar. That's what's going to happen, guys, when they pull their investment. Because can you see this lasting for another 5 years? Realistically. DJ?
No, I'm here. No, I'm here. My wife was talking to me too.
Can you see this? Can you see this lasting for another 5 years? Guys, honestly, I can't see it lasting for another 2.
Well, here's my issue, Joseph. The reason why I said I think it's good for boxing, all right, is because we're stagnated. These guys are not moving. We talked about this last week. They're not moving. They're not fighting. They want that retirement.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
Because they're not getting what they think they deserve.
No, of course. And why do you think that is? Why do you think they have an
overpayment?
Yes, that's right. Because of Al Heyman and because of Eddie Hearn. Right? And with Terrence Crawford, you have to blame this on Bob Arum. He was so confident that he could make the Spence fight under his watch that he decided to give Terrence Crawford an extension and raise his guaranteed minimum to $4 million. That's absurd. That made him the highest paid welterweight in the world in terms of guaranteed purse. Was he worth that much at the time? No. So inflated purses, give me one example where it actually ends well for the health of the sport. Give me one.
Don't put me on the spot because I won't be able to come up with one.
Look, it's a rhetorical question. I already
know. I know that. Here's my thing. What do we do though? What do? We want these fights.
This is what you do. This is what you do. All these entitled bitches that are, oh, I want that bag. I deserve that bag. We risk our health when they go out and stink out the joint like Mary just did from Belgium on the biggest stage of boxing right now, ESPN. Dude, and then he wants to get paid for that? You've got to be kidding me. You know what? What I say is all promoters should just get together. Look, we are not going to charge more than fair market value. We're not going to give these guys more than their market value. Who determines fair market value? The fans. If you're not a ticket seller, if you don't sell pay-per-views, don't come asking for $5-6 million. Kiss my ass then. The fans determine market value, and if they don't want to pay to see you fight, then you better not be asking for $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, because it's not going to happen. Promoters need to get together. And so what happens? They think they're doing that with Jaron Ennis, and then Matchroom, he goes out and pays him an inflated signing bonus. And just to sign him up, just to attract talent, here we go again, inflating the purse of Jaron Boots Ennis. Promoters have to get together and put a stop to this. And if they don't want to fight for what's being offered, what's on the table, then sit your ass down and we'll find a fighter who does. In my opinion, and from being in this business for 20 years, that's the only way that this bullshit is going to end. That's it. Hey, Miss B agrees with me. She's a promoter, right? There it is. There it is. So, your thoughts, my friend? After that long diatribe I just laid out. I'm sorry, dude.
No. I understand. No, it doesn't. And I know it seems like I'm flip floppy when it comes to this. Are the fighters worth the enormous paychecks? No, they're not. But me as a fan, and a lot of people as fans, we just want to see these goddamn fights happen.
That's right.
We're tired. We're tired. That's how come I say it's good for boxing. No, it's not going to last long because these guys' pockets are they definitely have a limit. And what that limit's going to be, who knows? But it's going to be it's going to be a rude awakening though once the limit does hit.
So when you say it's like Tim Zoo's cut, it's like putting a Band-Aid on Tim Zoo's cut the other day. That's what Saudi money is doing. Okay, now this is why I love the June 1st card, guys. This is why I love Queensberry versus Matchroom June 1st. Because this is a fight that should have been made years ago. And both fighters were willing. And this is one of the rare occasions where I believe both men deserved more money than was on the table. Why should undisputed supremacy at 175 be fought for only $500,000 apiece? Because think about this. Neither guy's a ticket seller. Even Bivol, after defeating Canelo, yeah, did his market value raise at all? Is he a household name in the American market? Is he a household name anywhere? No. And unfortunately, it created delusions of grandeur. That's why he sat out almost an entire year after that win. And so in this case, I think the Saudis, I agree with you, are great for boxing. They're giving us this fight that otherwise we wouldn't be seeing it. But Fury versus Usyk, no, we should have seen this last April. But Usyk had an inflated sense of worth after receiving that big 40 million rock from the Saudis for defeating Anthony Joshua a second time. Even though he's not a ticket seller anywhere. Yeah, Anthony Joshua was dumb enough to give him a 50-50 cut, even though he's the breadwinner. And now he got a taste of that good life. And he's like, well, screw that. I'm 15 million. Like, think about it. He scoffed at 15 million. Well, I've got 3 titles. There's no reason why I should be making 15 million and Tyson Fury making the rest. He's the ticket seller, guys. He's the ticket seller. That's how this business works. That's how it works in any entertainment field. Like, that's like Jeff Daniels being pissed at Jim Carrey for making $20 million in Dumb and Dumber, and he only made 5. That's how it works, guys. That's like the opening act for Taylor Swift wanting a 50-50 split of the game. Not going to happen, guys. So why would Alexander Usyk feel justified in wanting equal money with Tyson Fury, even though he's the world-renowned personality? He's the guy with the series on Netflix, not Usyk. He's the guy on WWF, not Usyk. So why did he expect that kind of money, that treatment? Because of the Saudis. That's what this does. But in this case on June 1st, I love it. Thank you, Saudi Arabia. But I refuse to call him His Excellency. That's horseshit. Look. The only person I would call His Excellency is if the second coming of Jesus Christ. That's it. Or
exact same intonation.
Or if John Paul III came back and became Pope again, I would call him His Excellency. But other than that, I'm not calling the head of a royal family in Saudi Arabia His Excellency. Kiss my ass. Anyway, those are my thoughts, bro. Yeah.
And here's the thing. I actually agree. I actually agree with what you're saying, and yeah, I wouldn't call anyone His Excellency or nothing like that. They're lucky they get a ma'am and yes sir and no sir, but
They'll get a handshake from me. They'll get a handshake, not a bow, not a curtsy, not a kneel, not a head bow, not a kiss on the cheek, not a P. Diddy. No, dude. And then you're not going to get that from me. Tell you what.
Yeah, when you say P. Diddy, you got to go no Diddy, no mo. Okay.
No, man. I don't play that jive, man. That's, dude, let me tell you. Like, honestly, look, this show isn't about that, so I'm not even going to go into that.
Yeah, no. It was just a joke. It was just a joke.
Yep, and Miss B has the beat. A man should never call another man excellency.
Excellency,
yeah. You can kiss my ass, and there it is.
Well, my big thing is I'm excited for to have finally after 25 years undisputed heavyweight champion of the world be announced is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. We got some good fights coming up this weekend and next weekend. I mean, we're gonna have exciting mid-year boxing. I am possibly going to one or two matches. Maybe you and I could meet up in Texas for a match.
Hell yes.
But I am going to say this. When the hammer does come down and these boxers finally found out pockets aren't as deep as you wish they were, and they're going to have to start earning their money, I'm going to tell you right then and there, that's when boxing is going to be, it's going to go through the roof with excitement.
Well, look, this is going to determine everything, and I wholeheartedly hope so, and I share your sentiment of optimism, right? I do. I am hopeful, right? I am hopeful that boxing, and look, I hate to say this. I hate to say this. But what's going to determine a lot of boxing's future in the American market is going to be, forgive me, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson on July 20th. That is going to be by far not even a close second. If you love this,
you got me clutching my chest right now. It hurts.
Yeah, look, if you love this June 1st card and think this is a big deal, which it is for every real fight fan, this is overshadowed by Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. I have seen on so many mainstream media outlets, Jake Paul or Mike Tyson or both promoting this fight. I haven't seen Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney on any of them, except for maybe Stephen A. Smith, ESPN. That's it. When have you seen this? Like, dude, this is ridiculous how many people have hit me up regarding this bullshit fight with a 58-year-old man.
Oh, most definitely.
But here it is. There's a reason why it's on Netflix, and there's a reason why it's not hidden behind a pay-per-view revenue stream. Because of the demand. You guys determine everything. The demand determines everything. Remember you asked me, why isn't it on regular network TV any longer? Because boxing has turned into a niche sport in the American market. We don't have that kind of mainstream demand any longer. But this event, everyone is buzzing about it. This is a huge mainstream fight. This is going to have an audience larger than the NBA Finals. Guaranteed. This is going to have an audience projected. Now, they're projecting an audience worldwide between 50 and 60 million viewers live all over the world. That's how much bigger this event is going to be than anything else.
Yep.
That's it.
By
Brother.
the way, check your private messages.
I just did, sir.
Alrighty. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get distracted over here. Cats.
No, man. Look.
Attention.
It's already 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 my time. So I guess this would be as good a time as any. But before we leave, right? And I will address that private message as soon as we get off the air. But I need your predictions, my friend. Oh, shoot. Right. Miss B. Look at Miss B, man, giving you the business. EJ's got his Jake Paul t-shirt already.
Miss B, no. No, see,
but look, guys. All I can say is if this event doesn't sizzle, and there's a very good reason, or there's a very good chance it won't, because let's just face it, Mike Tyson, 58. Oh, that's a dangerous man. Yeah, for the first 20 seconds. Guys, look, there's a very good possibility he's going to get knocked out by Jake Paul. Very good possibility. There's a very good possibility it doesn't even go past one round.
Yeah, you know,
because this is a 58-year-old man.
Yeah, you keep saying it, and the closer we get to the fight, the more anxiety I get about it because of his age and him being you know how I feel about it. You know, him being one of my heroes.
Of course. Look, to see that clown, that troll, knock out Mike Tyson would be like staring at the sun. Physically painful. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, it would. It would hurt my soul. It would hurt my soul.
That's it, brother.
And that's that's why I get anxiety the closer we get. You know, I have all the confidence in Tyson, but I keep remembering the Tyson I grew up with, forgetting that he's my age now.
Yeah, dude.
And can I step in a ring right now, or can I do what I did when I was in my 20s?
Look, I know everyone would love to see Mike Tyson flatten that professional troll, because I can't think of anyone more deserving, except maybe for a couple UFC fans, or Stephen A. Smith, or Joe Biden. Yeah.
Wow,
Well, come on, guys. Come on. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. That's a different platform entirely.
It was good. That was good timing. Take advantage of it while you got it.
But look, guys, I know everyone would love to see Mike Tyson just put it all together for one round and work his magic. And rather than looking like an old Mike Tyson, resemble the Mike Tyson of old. I know everyone would love to see that. But guys, it's
scary.
You have a better chance of winning the lottery, in my opinion. You have a better chance of cleaning out the MGM Grand Casino and taking them for all they're worth.
Well, I'm hoping he goes full out first round, knocks him out.
So my gosh. There it is. If Jake Paul, Mike Tyson were to have an audience larger than the NBA Finals, then it would be on regular TV, not Netflix. No, it's on Netflix because Netflix, brother, they already have their Oscar-winning studio now. They've won Best Picture. That's how massive Netflix has gotten. Netflix has over 260 million subscribers worldwide, a far greater reach than CBS, a far greater reach than any network in America. Think about that. 260 million subscribers. Think about this. How many people tuned into the Super Bowl? And this was the most watched Super Bowl, I think, in history, right?
Yes.
The Chiefs and the who else went? Who fought the Chiefs? Who played against the Chiefs this year?
Was it the Niners? No.
I think it was the Niners, right? Yeah, it was the Niners. Yeah,
You
you're
never
right.
remember
You're right.
the loser. How the
So
fuck
it's
is
the
it?
Niners who shot themselves in the foot yet again. Jeez. Yeah, the Niners and the Chiefs, huge fan bases, and it was what did it was it over 100 million people watching households? Okay, that was huge. But Netflix has a greater outreach. That's how many subscribers Netflix has, and that's how massive Netflix has become. Do you know anyone who doesn't have Netflix, Juice? Do you know anyone who still watches regular network TV with commercials?
I still watch network TV.
Well, I do too. I'm guilty of that.
100 and all right, let's see. 123.7 million viewers. Fuck.
Yeah. This is going to be a massive global audience in multiple time zones, guys. But that's why. And Netflix, think about how much money they make every single month. 260 million subscribers. And what's the average subscription rate for Netflix? Like if you average the different countries, the different economies.
Isn't it around
Right.
$15 to $17 or something like that?
Now multiply that times 260 million, and that's what they're making every single month. And you
Good
tell
Lord.
me who's got the deeper pockets.
Right. But they also spend a lot of money because they've been
No, they
branching out.
spend. Look, there's the Irishman from Martin Scorsese was produced by Netflix. They paid $90 million to Martin Scorsese to produce The Irishman, and it was nominated for Best Picture. That was exclusive to Netflix. So yeah, I don't
We
see
have a
CBS or
Netflix
NBC
studio
doing
out
that.
here. Here in New Mexico, there's a Netflix studio out here. They got a studio out here that they record into.
They've got one in Mexico also.
Yeah.
They've
I
got
thought
one in
they had
France.
one in
They've got one
Texas.
in England. Yeah.
Didn't they have one in? I thought they had one in Texas, and I know they got one out here.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But look. In my opinion, and this is a strange take, right? But it's in my opinion, Jerron Boots Ennis, rather than signing with Matchroom Sport, he should have signed with MVP Promotions.
Yeah, you
And
said that
fought
last
on this
time, too.
undercard. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, you said that.
And in my opinion, if this fight sizzles and we wet the palate for Netflix, the brass at Netflix, and get them interested in boxing, this could be the savior of boxing in the American market. Think about that, guys. I guess I'll leave you guys with that. I guess that's good a point of any. But thank you, Juice. We appreciate your opinions on this channel. We do. You're a very smart guy, and you're a great fan who supports everybody. And Juice has the beat. MVP would have been amazing for Boots. Well, I have my moments from time to time, sir. Yeah. Juice, thank you, brother. And once again, keep supporting everybody. I love Juice, man, because he supports every platform. He supports every promoter. It's boxing, damn it. It's one sport,
but
guys.
Joseph, you know,
Dude,
I would too.
I will never understand. I will never understand these fanboys, these pom-pom wavers that they'll root for the success of DAZN, but cheer when PBC has an off night or an event that doesn't sizzle. I
Because
will
that's
never
a person
understand that till the day I die.
I'm going to tell you why. Because they don't pay for anything. Those are the guys. Those are the people that pirate. Those are the people that pirate.
That's it. That's it. I tell
Because
you
if
what.
they paid for a damn thing once in their lives, they would have a lot more respect.
You know what?
for the
That
sport.
is such an insightful point, and you know that's why I love having you here, EJ. Because when you have some skin in the game, yeah, you want to like the product. When you pay for it and when you invest your hard-earned money, you want to like it. Who wants to go out to a restaurant and bitch about the food? No one. That's a miserable time. You want to have fun. You want to enjoy your dinner. Okay, you want to enjoy your time out with your significant others, your family. You don't want to complain. Who wants to do that? If you pay for it, if you invest in it, you want to like it. So you are right on the money, EJ. You couldn't be any sharper. So guys, you can always tell the rats from the guys who actually have some skin in the game by the amount of criticism. And there it is. They will always try to rationalize why they shouldn't invest in their supposed favorite pastime.
They're also the ones, mind you, they're also the ones that swear up and down that they're the most knowledgeable.
Oh, geez.
No.
Here's the reason why they feel that way. And here's the reason why they feel that way, my friend. Because compared to the guy standing next to him in the grocery line, compared to their next door neighbor, yeah, they sure do seem like every bit of that expert, don't they? But I'm here to tell you, unless you've worked a minute or a substantial period of time in this business, you don't know half as much as you think you do. You don't know shit. And that's the reality, because I was one of those guys back in the day. I thought I was this hot shit journalist. 20 years ago, coming into the business, reporting, oh man, I could write my ass off. I still can. And I was like, oh, yeah, man, I know everything about the sport. And dude, once I got schooled by James Gogi, Ronnie Shields, Emmanuel Stewart, Abel Sanchez, Joe Goosen, Barry, Mike Stafford, Don Chargan. Once I got schooled by those great men, Barry Hunter from the DC area, geez, that's a real teacher, man. Like everyone in the gym, headbangers, or what is it called? Dog pound, or whatever they call it, the doghouse in DC, his gym. Everyone used to call him Master Yoda for a reason. Okay, and I thought I was hot shit until I started talking to those guys. And when I was just covering the beat as a writer for Fight News and for Boxing Scene and for the old East Side Boxing, I was humbled very quickly. And I realized, man, I didn't know shit. But I was humble. And I shut the hell up and I listened rather than trying to combat with these guys. I actually pulled out my recorder and I recorded everything and soaked up everything like a sponge. Mm-hmm. Why do you think I got the assignment to work with the opportunity to work with Emmanuel Stewart? Was it because I argued with him all the time? No, man. I thought that was the opportunity of a lifetime, and it was. In the 3 or 4 years that I worked with Emmanuel, I learned so much. Same with Don. The decade that I worked with Don Chargan and Golden Boy Promotions, I learned so much. And the only way you learn is if you shut your mouth and you listen from the great men who made this sport what it is.
Exactly.
And that's the reality. How many YouTubers do you know who are willing to do that at this time, EJ?
They're too busy yelling at each other and claiming they know this and know that. I get chewed out to this day because I take notes on fights. Yeah. I take notes. Joseph, you got to hear some of the shit I get because I get everyone. Did you get your notebook, brah? Did you get your notebook, brah? You can't say a thought without getting your notebook, brah. Yeah, that's right.
That's terrible. And I'm sorry you subject yourself to that, man, through that. That's terrible.
That's okay, because when I pull out the notebook, they look stupid.
What about Ellie Seckbeck? I will say this. Ellie Seckbeck is a much wiser person than 99% of these YouTubers because he's an ass kisser, but he's a humble guy, and he listens and he learns. When you speak to him personally, he's a guy who has a shockingly big ego, but he knows the business. He understands it. This is why so many trainers and fighters want to talk to him. And the fact that he kisses their ass ad nauseum. But he's more knowledgeable than 99% of the YouTubers that you'll talk to. And that's the reality. He's been doing this now for, dude, as long as I've been, 20 years. But that's the way you learn, guys. So rather than throwing daggers at some of these guys wanting to get notoriety by being a troll from these fighters and promoters and trainers and just everybody, be respectful. Ask questions. They'll want to open up to you. Guys, why do you think I get Rick? Why do you think I get James Gogi on my show? Why do you think I get Ronnie Shields? I do this all for you guys. Like most of what James Gogi talks about, Ronnie Shields, I already know what they're going to say. That's why I designed the questions that way. It's for you guys. So you guys can learn, have the same opportunity I had. That's the reason why I started this channel. So you guys can actually have the same opportunity I had. Because I felt so blessed to be around such great men. And this Wednesday, guys, we're going to have, once again, tomorrow night, our conversation with Ronnie Shields.
Hell yeah, I'll be here tomorrow for sure.
Who's training Philip Ergovich tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and then the following afternoon at 12 p.m. Eastern, right? We're going to have lunchtime with the Iceman, John Scully, who is co-trainer for Arthur Beterbiev. Before he leaves for Saudi Arabia.
You're going to have open questions? He's going to be here?
Yes, sir. And let me tell you, you guys are in for a real treat. If you don't know Iceman, he is one of the most charismatic storytellers and has the greatest stories, guys. It's going to be nonstop entertainment. And unfortunately, my only regret is I only have him for an hour. But the Iceman, we're thinking of making it a permanent segment every single week. Because he's that entertaining and he's that knowledgeable. So, guys, I do this all for you guys. And once again, and I know our extended family in the chat. I know all of you guys appreciate this.
Me speaking from the chat and as a viewer, right? We appreciate it because I know I appreciate it, and I know there's other people out there that appreciate it as much as I do. That's why I come here all the time, because you seem to exclude yourself from being a humble man and listening to what your viewership has to say. You don't give yourself enough appreciation, so I'm going to do it. We appreciate you, Joseph. We appreciate you very much. Thank you for doing everything that you do.
Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate that. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I appreciate all of you guys tuning in tonight and hanging with me. You guys are the reason why I still do this. Hey, JD Space says, thank you for tuning in, sir. Says, when are we getting Coach Gogi back? Last night. And, you know, even though you weren't there for the live broadcast, it's still up. Go check it out because Gogi was Gogi. He didn't disappoint. He was absolutely incredible last night. So, guys, go check it out. And you know what, Lance? Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate you hanging with us all these years. God bless you, my friend. And EJ, you know what, brother? Thank you for always being the gracious co-host. And it's always a joy to share the air with you. You're a very good, humble guy. And on that note, guys, EJ, I'll give you another opportunity to give us your parting shots, my friend.
All right. All right. To the chat and anyone that's watching, guys, just be kind to each other. Remember, when you watch boxing, those are two human beings in there. They're not automatons. They're not robots. These are two human beings. Wish both well and wish both of them opponents to get out of the ring healthy.
And there it is. And there it is. I thought I was listening to Springer's final thought for a second. Be good to each other and yourselves. I'm just jiving, man. I love you, brother. You always do a great job, EJ. And guys, if you haven't already, please go subscribe and support my brother Electro Jed. But guys, on behalf of Rick Glaser, on behalf of my brother G Funky, and on behalf of the incomparable EJ, I'm Joseph Heron. You've been listening to War Week Boxing. Guys, thank you for supporting our beloved boxing. And have a great Monday evening, everybody. How you doing? You too can smell manly if you listen to Real Talk with Rick Glaser.